Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play Space Engineer series. Today we're going to start, maybe even finish, building our next generation of mining ship. Off camera I built a few more tugs. We now have 4 of them. I made a slight change to the newer designs in moving the reactor down 1 block so that the center of mass is better aligned. They still don't work quite as well as I'd like. The gyroscope still cause things to twist, but they work well enough for our current needs. I'll have to come up with something else in the future, but that's for the future. I've put some more thought into this design here, and I think I may have come up with a few ways to deal with some of the shortcomings. But the landing gear part is going to be one of the core elements of our design, and thus going to be what we start with. After I get some more parts. Let's see, where are you, Blue? I want to finish the design, at least blocking it out, today, this episode, and then maybe weld it next episode during a time lapse or something, or maybe I will build it in pieces and then just do cuts with welds or something. Haven't quite decided yet, but we'll come off, I guess, this block. Bits and start working on the landing gear itself. I think we're going to have the landing gear go down. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted it to go sideways or downward. It's usually easier to dock a larger ship sideways from the side than it is to dock it from the bottom, especially being that we're going to only have access to third-person view in the ship. But I think just for, okay, there's an autosave, just for simplicity's sake, we'll have the landing gear go down. The first thing we need to do is, I guess, replace. See, if this is going to be the bottom hull, it needs to be heavy armor blocks. Yeah. Grab some of those. And we'll also want motor, that, some interior blocks, as they're cheaper to build, even though they take longer to manufacture. We already have the rotors, we have those, and we have those. And we have the landing gear, and I think that's everything we need. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll come off from the center here, and this is where we're going to build this part. So let's see, how many blocks do we need that? That's the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll go 7 blocks high. That doesn't sound like an unreasonably tall ship. I think these might be facing so that the flat part is facing inward like that. Or outward and inward like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of these parts can be pretty light. They aren't going to have that much stress on them. And we can save a little bit that way. Let's see. If we want this one to be... No, we want it to be up and down, don't we? Pretty sure we do. How long was that? Only 2 blocks? Okay, that's as long as it is, that's as long as it is. I wish we could use the mouse wheel to scroll these. That would be something that's pretty freaking convenient. That one. And then we need to go down 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 blocks. I think 5 blocks is how far we actually need to go down. Maybe. This one should be heavier armor. No, not this one. The next one. Is that counting the rotor? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not counting the rotor. Then we'll put a couple rotors here. Come on. And then we'll put the heavy armor, assuming we can actually place it. Which apparently we can't for some reason. Should be able to. I think maybe we'll move this one over 1. So let's just chop a couple of these off. Do that. And whoa, a little bit more lag. Do that, and then we can just chop these down. They're going to be in the way. Alright, so now then we can have heavy armor. We'll have one above. And this is what the shortest thing, and the travel distance is 5, I believe. 2, 4, 5. I think it's 5. Might be 3. That goes all the way up. This would be 1, 2. Okay, so it's 3. There. That would be how far we go. I think that's correct. So we would really need this to be shorter, or this to be taller. I'm not sure which. Could put maybe one more block here. Nope, can't fit that there. We might make this one shorter. Make that one taller. Yeah, I think we'll end up making this taller and making this, leaving this like the same it is. Let me do that and I'll be right back. Alright, I've built at least part of that. Enough to keep the rotors stationary. And this is how I'm going to do it. We're going to have the rotor in the center here. And a merge block on the bottom. Just going to merge with the merge block on the hole. And then coming off from this, we're going to have the landing gear. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 on the other side. Should be enough of a clearance. While still keeping it somewhat stable. 5, and then go down. You want, so 2 blocks would be the hole. And I think that's where the landing gear needs to go. Or maybe 1 more block. Got in the way. How would that look? Looks like 1 more block. Then we'll have not 1 landing gear, but a set of 3 on each arm. There. Like that. And that'll help account for the larger hole that we're going to need. Assuming I can actually build around this. Which I hope I can. That might be an issue. Either that, or we'll have to have this a little bit shorter. How can I do that? What if I cut this off, built the wall, and then tried to place it? Still no work. So maybe we'll just have 1 landing gear. I think that's probably the best we can do. At least it will be good on the front. I hope, yeah. Fit there. That appears to be the best we could do. And then we can have the braces on 3 sides on this one, and on 3 sides on the far end. So that needs to be out too. 2. Out 2. And then let's see, I think we'll go with light armor for these. Saving. 3. And then maybe there work. Assuming we can actually place these properly. We may have to tear down this and rebuild it. It's entirely possible. So right there would be pretty good for the whole path, I think. Do that on all 3 sides and do it on that side. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. I have finished this. As you can see, it works. Though unfortunately, when that merged, it converted it to a station So I'll have to fix that at some point later, after we've disconnected from the actual station. But right now we're using that for a source of power. Next, let's see. Probably actually going to have this attached to the top instead of having this down here like this. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, I've started doing this for pistons, adding welders intermixed with the landing gear, as that basically reduces the maintenance that they're required. After the patch that changed rotors, this kind of tore itself apart, so I rebuilt it all using welders as a test, and so far it's been working pretty good. I did some mining in that cut there so that I could have some more iron. Now then, I think the next thing we're going to want is at least a passageway of some sort. Even if it's only around the edge, and probably at least 2 blocks wide. But maybe not all the way on the bottom, probably somewhere closer to the center. But we'll see about that. There's some things we could do to fix that a little bit better. We're also going to want, say, if we put autosave, if we put the passage closer to the center, then on the bottom we could have thrusters, and we could just basically walk over the top of them, like there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Not quite sure how many we need, but I do want the hole to be 1 block further out, so that could be one side. It's possible. We'll also need, this is going to be a little bit tricky, but we'll need the thrusters for the reverse thrust. It's going to have to be inside the hole because we're not going to have the, look at this one, we're not going to have the extra gaps to build these kind of armored pods around the engines if we face them forward, and we wouldn't have a gap for the thrust to go through either. And of course we don't want our engines that exposed. That's an option. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could just use a single big thruster, but that would make it wider. We did. Let's see, that would be there. We'd have to go somewhere around in here. I assume we make that the center of the ship. Could do that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. These are roughly equivalent to 12 small thrusters. We would still have enough space. It would just make the ship too wider. And we do need a lot of thrust in that direction to counteract the drills. But I think I'm still going to go with the smaller ones just because they'll look better. I'll go with 12 of them maybe, but smaller ones. Possibly just that many. And then, so we'll have a walkway here, possibly with this above it, just to make things look better. Something like that. I'm not entirely certain where I'm going to put the entrance, but one of the ideas I had was putting it in the back of the ship, as I think that would be easier to get inside of if we're getting in and out of if we're digging a tunnel. We may also have a side entrance for station entrance, a kind of station side entrance. Walk along there. Then we could have the cockpit somewhere up here. That wouldn't be too bad. We might even think about putting some windows through, but that's probably not a good idea for a mining ship. Would be good for a military ship, but not for a mining ship. Or a larger ship. That's going to be probably that. Actually, we would need to raise these up one, wouldn't we? Because we also want the ones facing down. Which would be this high. So like that, and then another set going that way. That's probably what we end up doing. Now then, the rear thrusters. Where will that put the floor? Then 2 more for walking. Yeah, we'll still have plenty of space. Alright. So what I'll do... How much space did that take? 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So, assuming we had the hole right here, which we couldn't have, we would need we'll say 3 blocks for that. That these should be the interior blocks. And then we'll have the hole. How much space will that leave us? Keep going. Couple more. Actually, we might raise this one up one more just to narrow the ship a little bit. Since it looks like we're going to have plenty of room. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that would be great. That would be just right, in fact. Which hopefully that'll still leave us enough space to work with. Let me think. Let me frame this out and I'll be right back. Okay, we have those thrusters and we're going to have rear thrusters there and there. And then this will be the front of the ship here. Not counting the drills. At least that's as close as we can have the front of the ship. Which means put the rearward thrusters are the forward thrusters here. The main drive. And probably the reactor needs to be somewhere in this area too. So I think this is the center. No, this is the center. So we can come off that. See, how would we want to do it? Something like this. And then as far forward as we can get it without interfering with our landing gear. See what way it's going. Let's see. That. No, not that way. Come on. There, that's the way I want it. Let's see. Okay, if we put it there. Or all the way down. Yeah, that might work. Where's the pathway? Pathway goes to there. If we put another one right above it, which would be somewhere 2 blocks from that. Blocks. Like there. Then we could have 4 thrusters that way. Should be enough. And possibly put the reactor somewhere right in here. Like smack dab in the center. So the reactor will be 3x3. Should fit. That. I need to make sure that I only need 1 reactor. I'll have to look up to see how much power the large engines use, but I think 1 will be enough. Something like that. We'll have to make sure that it's turned and facing the right way so that we can access it from our walkway. And if we need another one, we'll probably have to put it... I don't know, maybe in the forward area? That's probably what we end up doing. We won't have a walkway on this side, I don't believe, since this is going to be here. We'll just have the walkway come around that side, where it will kind of bend around this. Okay, I need interior plates. And then we'll have, say, from here. Yeah, and counting this one, we'll have a 3 wide area, and then put the cockpit right here. And then we'll just have the armor come around right in front of that, with the mining drills on top. It's going to be a bit oblong. though. I was hoping for something squarish. But we'll do what we can. I will be back once I've gotten more of this blocked out. Blocked it out a little bit more. The retractable landing gear does make it a lot larger than it really needs to be, or really should be. But I still like the idea. Really only one main thing I want to get done before we go for today, and that is laying out the storage. Which, let's see. Large and small cargo containers. Whoops. Forgot that it does that now. Wish they would change it back. Okay, let's see. We can put them here and on the other side, and then we can have a small cargo container connecting them, and then a other small cargo container or tube connecting out here. And on the bottom, actually maybe not on the bottom. I think that's the floor of the area. Let's see, can I get out of here? Now I'm all turned around. Alright. Okay, so if we put that there, we could have the output come right here. Because I don't want the connector to be sticking through like that, because it'll probably get broken. That's one area we could have storage, and we could have that on the top, which is going to be 4 million-ish storage. And then we can have some more here too if we need it, because there's like lots of space here. Yeah. Assuming we don't add a wall here, there should be enough space for at least another 4 cargo containers here. 4 large ones, and we can cram in some more small ones, and we'll also have an entire area up here where we could cram in more. I don't think I'm going to need that much storage. Probably I'll just do the 4 and see how long that lasts me. And then if I need more, I'll add more. But I'll probably do a time lapse of welding all this next episode. I need to do a ton more mining, I'm pretty sure. Can't think of anything else I want to add to this. Well, there's one more thing, but I'm not going to get to it today. I'll check on the power requirements to make sure that we don't need another reactor. If we do, I think we could just add it like right next to this. On either side. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I may do that anyway, just so that we have the power. Could be a good idea. Let's see, put it there, and another one on the other side. I like that idea. If I need it, I'll check. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need at least one more. And for symmetry, we'll add a third one. But that's going to be it for this episode. Like if you like, subscribe if you're not. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. I do read all the comments. And I will see you next time!